Hello everyone, welcome to my channel where I like to talk about cartoons. So today I wanted to talk about The Loud House, specifically the episode L is for Love. I actually wanted to talk about my reaction to this episode since I didn't see this episode when it first aired back in 2017. I did, however, see this episode fairly recently. I want to say a few weeks ago, or maybe it was months ago at this point, who knows. But the point is, it's been years since this episode first aired. Anyways, this episode's ending has a twist at the end. Sort of. But I'll talk about that more later. First, I'm going to give a quick recap for those that haven't seen this episode. So the episode opens up with Lincoln calling an emergency sibling meeting. Apparently the Louds received a love letter that is addressed to an L Loud. But since all of the siblings' first name starts with an L, it could really be for any of them. We then see a montage of each of the Loud siblings' crushes / potential secret admirers. Admirers? I hate that word. Lucy tells them that they each need to go to their crush and send them a signal to let them know that they're interested. They all send their signals, and back at home they receive a second letter, this time with a rose. The second letter reveals that the admiree, I don't think that's a word, the person that the letter is addressed to, is someone with brown hair, which eliminates everybody except for Luna, Luann, Lynn, and Lisa. The girls are ecstatic, except for Luna, who never actually sent her signal since she felt like Sam was out of her league, to which the Louds respond that she's wrong and she absolutely has a chance with Sam. Which is awesome, by the way. I love how the Louds are supportive of their sister. So the next step in Lucy's plan is to send a token of their affection. Lisa, Lynn, and Luann send their thoughtful gifts, but Luna doesn't have the courage to give hers to Sam. Her gift, by the way, was going to be her favorite guitar pick, which I thought was pretty sweet. Back at home, Lori calls another sibling meeting to see how everything went, and Lenny comes home with a third letter, which says that they dig their sweet sounds and love of all things British, which could pretty much only be Luna. The letter also says that they want to meet up at Bangers and Mosh, so the Loud siblings head to Bangers and Mosh, but they don't see Sam there. They do, however, see their parents. They head over to their parents' table and go ahead and tell them about everything that's been going on these past few days. Apparently Rita, their mom, was the one who sent the letter to Lynn, their dad, since that's how she asked him out for the first time. Rita then tells them the story of how she first met their dad and how she was afraid to ask him out initially because she felt that he was out of her league, so she snuck a love letter into his pocket. Her story inspires Luna and the rest of the Louds, and one by one they each give their love letters to their crush. Luna drops her letter in Sam's locker. When Sam opens her locker, she sees the letter, opens it up, reads it, and smiles. Seeing her positive reaction, Luna smiles, ending the episode. I said earlier in the video that this episode had a twist at the end. So what was the twist? Well, it's that Sam was actually a girl. You may notice during the scene where each of the Louds try to figure out who the identity of the secret admirer is, it's clear who their crush is since they directly interact with them. However, in Luna's case, there are two characters in her scene. Sam and some other guy whose name I don't know. But it's not clear who Luna's crush is supposed to be since they're both sitting across from her and therefore during that scene she's looking at both of them, or at least that's how it looks. Okay, actually, now that I look at it, this guy is sitting closer to Luna, so that could maybe lead the audience into thinking he's the love interest instead of Sam, the one behind him. Plus, with the exception of the ending scene with Sam reading the letter, every time Sam is on screen, she's with that guy. So it could be either one of them, really. And since this is Sam's introduction episode, we don't even know who Sam is at this point. So yeah, if you were watching this episode without any prior knowledge as to who Sam is, you wouldn't know who Luna's crush is supposed to be, which is how it was for the people that watched this episode when it first came out in 2017. But with that being said, when I watched this episode, I already knew who Sam was. In fact, I saw the episode where Luna and Sam were having couple troubles or something about their compatibility, I don't remember exactly, before I saw this episode. I didn't even realize that this was Sam's first episode. Given the way the Louds talk about her, it seems like they already know who she is. In fact, Luann's the one that name drops Sam.
Yeah, and come to think of it, you never told us the signal you gave Sam.
So even though she's technically a new character, the episode doesn't treat her like she's one, which is kinda cool. Just a couple side notes before I end the video. Do we see any of these love interests again? I think we see Benny, Luann's crush again, but I have no idea about the other characters. And who the heck is Paige? I don't think we ever see her again after this episode, but what about Ronnie Ann? Okay, so I know Lincoln and Ronnie Ann's relationship is kind of tumultuous, and I think it may have been retconned at some point. Also, I think Ronnie Ann moves away this season, so it makes sense that she wouldn't be there. But still, I guess Lincoln had to have a crush on somebody. But that's pretty much all I have to say about this episode. I don't think I said it earlier, but I actually really like it. It has some funny moments, plus I like how the siblings are supportive of Luna. And while I don't usually like when the Loud House gives every sibling an individual scene, like in the beginning when we're first introduced to each of the siblings' crushes, I feel like scenes like that just take up a lot of time from the episode. But here it kind of makes sense since at the beginning we don't know who the letters are addressed to, so there's sort of a mystery there. Plus, it didn't feel like they took up too much time from the episode. But that's pretty much all I have to say about this episode. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you in the next video.